That is a fantastic dough recipe, guys. This is definitely a pizza I could come back to on keto. Look at the cheese pull. Hey everyone, Dave here, back in the kitchen, and today we've got a trending recipe that we're gonna try out. I've never tried it before, but it's hot right now. It's very hot right now. Think like when we did the Marry Me chicken, and that was a real hot recipe, and then we did the TikTok spaghetti. Well, there's this new one called the Chicken Parm Pizza. It is keto, it sounds delicious, and we're about to cook it. And we're gonna elevate it because, you know, we can't just do the normal recipe. We're gonna make a better version of it. We're gonna make the go-to recipe, hopefully, if all works out well. We're gonna start off by making our pizza dough, and the pizza dough is going to be, well, I mean, this could be technically carnivore too, depending on what you put into this dough, but what we're gonna do is a keto version. You can modify it for carnivore. So I ran over to the grocery store and I bought, how much did I get? 1 pound of ground chicken. I got the Springer Mountain View Farms, because that's what was available. I gotta get the paper out of it. We're then gonna add into it a 1/4 cup, half a cup of cottage cheese, which I wasn't even trying to integrate cottage cheese into this recipe. It just kind of happened naturally. So there's a 1/4 cup. Let's do one more of those. We're just doing it as is. We're not straining it or anything. This is going to help the crust somehow. We're then gonna add to the dough a half a cup of shredded mozzarella. I feel like one of these was open, maybe not. We're gonna preheat our oven to 400 as well. If you've never tried the Marry Me chicken on this recipe, it can be adjusted to be keto. It's also pretty low calorie and it's amazing. So I do recommend you check that recipe out. I'm taking a short break from all the experimental stuff I've been doing the last couple of videos, you know, where we try to like revolutionize Cheez-Its for keto. Taking a break from that and going with some more whole, you know, dinner meal type foods for a little bit. So for at least a couple videos, because I'm just craving that kind of recipe right now. So we're just taking our little grater and we're grating up a half a cup of Parmesan as well. So you got a half a cup of mozzarella, half a cup of Parmesan, maybe a little plastic if you're me, hopefully not. And that goes all into our pizza dough slash chicken. We're then going to season this boldly, okay? Boldly as in, you know, kind of the more the better, because you want it to really have a lot of flavor packed in. So I've got a half a tablespoon here, so I'm gonna do I want about 2 teaspoons, which is a little more than one of these. A half a tablespoon is 1.5 teaspoons. So we're gonna do about 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. We're gonna do 3 teaspoons, so basically a whole tablespoon of Italian seasoning. We want a lot of nice seasoning in the dough. We're gonna do a half a tablespoon of onion powder and a half a tablespoon of garlic powder as well. My tooth fell out last night, guys. There's a little update, life update. Sitting there, eating, tooth just falls out. It's not really my tooth. It's not like, you know, I'm a zombie and my body's falling apart. It's a crown I had installed like 2.5 years ago. We're then gonna add a teaspoon of salt, or you can do a teaspoon, yeah, about a teaspoon of salt should be good. And then about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. I will say, it kind of freaked me out a bit when my tooth fell out, you know? Because at first I was like, thinking it was really like one of my actual teeth, not the crown that I had gotten. I kind of forgot about that crown. And I'm like chewing on my food and all of a sudden it's like super hard. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I pull it out and it's a tooth. I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? So yeah, that was a little scary. Now, I will say it is a tooth I had a root canal on, so there was no real pain. Apparently, if that were to happen to a tooth where I had a crown and no root canal, you know, tooth talk, guys, tooth talk. Let's tell the tooth. It would have hurt like crazy, but I had a root canal, so it does not hurt. And actually, it's still not back in my mouth. I have to go tomorrow. That was the soonest the dentist could get me in. And it's gonna be $320 just to glue the stupid thing back in. It was like $3,000 to get it back in the day, so why not have it be ridiculously expensive again? How's your dentist treating you? Where can I put this fork without it falling? So we're obviously putting the chicken into a food processor. This is optional, but I think it's gonna give it a better dough texture, and I think we're gonna get that really smooth finish if we use the food processor and really, you know, grind it down into one smooth paste-like substance. I got my cord over there, it's fine, we're working it out. So we'll just blend this up. All right, I think we should be good. We're supposed to put this dough onto a parchment-lined baking sheet. And I only have these little pre-cut squares of parchment paper. So I'm trying to make do with that. I might need like 4 of them. Now I'll need 3 of them. And I am scrunching them up. I don't know if you know that trick. It makes it a little easier to manage them if they're scrunched up. So there we go, that looks pretty good. And then we're just gonna pour our dough out, or not. Hold on, I'll use a fork to get it out. Oh, I hate raw chicken. Raw chicken, I get raw chicken anxiety. Do you guys also get raw chicken anxiety? I get lots of anxiety. This is basically my therapy, guys, where I talk you through all my anxieties I have. You know, I feel like, you know, it's healthy. It's healthy to just talk about it, you know, instead of bottling it all up. You know, that's how you don't solve it. So that's good. Now we're gonna shape this into a dough. I'm just gonna go, all right, so we're basically squishing this down into a dough. I really need to spray my hands with some olive oil. I literally just sprayed my hands with olive oil. You know, like cooking spray, it's so sticky, oh my goodness. Should I have olive oiled that as well? I don't know. Maybe once it cooks, it's gonna work out, guys. We need this to be about 1/4 inch thick and as pizza dough shaped as possible. But knowing my skills, it's gonna end up being a rectangle. Now, we'll say this. So if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, this whole thing started as me like Googling the world's best recipes and then testing them to see if they were really the world's best. But a lot of that was so influenced by the ads, it didn't really work out that well. So eventually we went over to ChatGPTing the best recipes, right? And getting AI to come up with the recipes and test them and things like that, which is fine. That's been pretty good. But every now and then ChatGPT says some of the dumbest stuff. Like today, when I was making this recipe, don't mind the hands, it told me to season it generously. And if I'm not sure if it's seasoned enough, just give it a taste. Taste the raw chicken, Dave. Just taste it. See if it needs more salt or pepper. And I said to ChatGPT, you know, because I talked to it, I said, yo, you trying to kill me? Trying to get me to eat raw chicken? What is wrong with you? And it's like, oh, thank you for pointing out this mistake. I'm like, that's not the kind of mistake you're allowed to make, AI. Friggin' Skynet. Let me go clean up. All right, so I'd call that pretty pizza shape. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is the fact that I didn't like pre-grease the tray. You know, pre-grease, can I grease the parchment paper? Maybe I should have. We're gonna throw it in the oven at 400 for 20 minutes. Then we're gonna let that cook up for 20 minutes, then we're gonna add the toppings. It says we can flip it at like 15, and it could take up to 30 to get like fully cooked. So we're gonna kind of play it by ear. I might try to flip it at 15 if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll let you know. All right, so let's pull this out. Oh, it's not looking like it's done, but we're gonna try the flip method. It has been just about 20 minutes. I don't know that anyone else tried using cottage cheese on this, so that might be unique to us, but we'll see. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna slide it off onto the actual counter. Ooh, what is that? Something's leaking through. And then we're gonna do this, and we're gonna flip it on. Can you see that okay? That's what we're gonna do. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart. 1, 2, oh my gosh, don't fall apart. 3. Hey, that wasn't too bad. All right, we're gonna put it back in the oven because I think it needs to be a little bit more brown and crispy than that, I think. We'll leave it in for another like 10 minutes, maybe 5, 10, yeah, we'll do 10 minutes. I'm feeling crazy. This is gonna create a base, guys, for like so many different opportunities. But you know, we're calling it the chicken parm pizza, and we're gonna put like sauce and cheese on it, and then it's chicken, and we can add some parm, things like that. So it's the chicken parm pizza, but you could also use this crust as a base for almost anything. You could throw barbecue sauce on it, some onions, some peppers, make that kind of pizza, and some cheese, that'd be good. You have a lot of options here. This is kind of the base of a keto, low-carb, delicious pizza that you can make at any point and throw whatever's left in the fridge onto to make something delicious. All right, guys, we're taking this pizza out. It's been 10 more minutes. And boom, there we go. Yeah, so you wanna make sure it's not wet feeling on the top. You can check the internal temp with the thermometer. I just checked mine, mine's at about 180, so mine's definitely cooked through and not like dangerous or anything. You wanna make sure it's not sticking to the parchment paper, which mine is not. And now we can actually sauce up our pizza. We can flip it again too. Let me see what the other side looks like. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, we won't though. So I'm gonna use some Rouse, which is kind of what most people consider the best, you know, keto-ish pasta sauce. You can omit this completely if your spoon kind of fits in there. If you're concerned about the carbs in it. I believe this has, that was what? Probably a little too much, wasn't it? This is 1/2 cup, which is probably what I put on there, is 6 carbs. Yeah, that seems fine. About 6 carbs in the sauce, but I'm not gonna eat the whole thing myself, so you could go heavier, but you don't want it to be soggy either. So we're just spreading our pizza sauce onto our pizza, like that. Then we're gonna add some mozzarella. Wait, which one is it? The one I opened, this one. I'm gonna go pretty heavy on the mozzarella. So I want mine nice and cheesy. But again, you can kind of use this as a base for whatever you want. We're going for like a chicken parm vibe. Now I will say, you know, one of my favorite things with any like chicken parmy type thing is to put pepperoni on it. It is kind of a weird thing I do. You don't have to, but I'm gonna do it because I like pepperoni on my chicken parm. I like pepperoni on my meatball subs. I like pepperoni on everything. So I'm going to add some pepperoni to this, and I'm gonna go heavy on the pep. I gotta have a little pep in my step, you know? We're also going to take our cheese grater and our Parmesan cheese again, and I am gonna add a little Parmesan to the top, like so. You can also add basil or any of those other, you know, pizza-y toppings you want to your chicken parm pizza. I'm gonna throw it back in the oven for about 7 to 10 minutes to get all this melted up. All right, guys, this looks done to me. We've got our chicken parm pizza, and it looks delicious. We need to let it cool for like 2 minutes before we crack into it so we don't burn ourselves. All right, so I would say that that looks pretty good. Don't you think that looks good? Nice little zoom in on the pizza. I did get the, that they're pizza cutter, and we're gonna just like pizza cut it and see if it looks like pizza or see if it's a gooey mess. I mean, this is the moment of truth. Yo, so far it looks like pizza. Check this out. We might have uncovered something delicious. There's a reason I think this is probably going hot viral. It looks like a really solid pizza recipe. Look at that. I don't know if I want to bite into that with the amount of smoke I just saw. It might need to cool just a little bit longer. Look at that, I made pizza for the family. It's the chicken parm pizza that everyone's talking about, guys. It is scorching hot, but look at, there's the crust. Whew, it's hot. All right, we're gonna let it cool for a minute longer, and then we'll try it once it cools. All right, guys, so it's been a few minutes. I'm ready to try this. The question has to be, is it gonna taste like chicken parm or pizza or a combination of both? I'm gonna let you know. It's still gonna burn my mouth. I can feel it on my fingers. Oh, wow. I have to be careful with how I'm eating this since I'm missing a crown. So I have to eat it on the left side of my mouth. This is delicious. This is straight up delicious. It tastes a lot like chicken parm, but it's got a texture of pizza too. It actually tastes a lot like pizza and a lot like chicken parm simultaneously. That is a fantastic dough recipe, guys. This is definitely a pizza I could come back to on keto. Look at the cheese pull. And I love that it's so versatile as far as what you could do with it. You can make it a bunch of different kind of pizzas. This is a winner. This is a must try one. This one's delicious. I love it. So 10 out of 10, must try the Keto Chicken Parm Pizza that we have discovered and created here. You can do it exactly like this because this is freaking delicious. Or you can customize it into something else. You can do a fully loaded one with all types of meats. I'm gonna go feed this to the family. I think they're gonna be pleasantly surprised. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the like button, and we'll see you next time.